Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky Police Department hopes to set an example for others to follow. And a panel at the SOAR Summit discusses the nursing shortage affecting the nation, including right here in the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, good morning again. It's just before 6 o'clock on this Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at your forecast. Brandon, another comfortable start.
Comfortable. There you go.
A comfortable start to the morning. Goodness, it's Thursday, but it feels like a Monday.
Yes, yes, it does. It does feel like a Monday, but it's going to be the end of the week before we know it. Yeah. Unfortunately, this weekend, though, could bring us some more rain chances. This morning, though, as we head out the door, we're going to continue to see the possibility for some patchy, dense fog. Let's take a look at that on the graphics, and you'll be able to see that there down especially into the Cumberland Valley, down into the I-75 corridor. So just kind of keep that in mind as we head deeper into that forecast. We're just going to continue to watch that here in the next little bit. So we'll just kind of keep a look on that as we head into the forecast this morning. Temperatures across the area, 59 in Wise, 67 now in Jackson. Everybody else kind of falling in between there. A lot of mid-60s across the parts of the area, so we're going to continue to watch that. Now 70s out toward Paducah. That will not last too much longer. Upper 60s there, Owensboro and Louisville. Cincinnati at 63, and then Tri-Cities at 61. 68 there down in Nashville. We're going to continue to watch those cooler temperatures down into Charleston as well, so just be aware of that as you head out the door this morning. Day planner, we are heading up into the upper 70s and low 80s. It all depends on where you get today, but it's going to be a fairly mild day. Just some clouds this morning giving way to some nicer conditions a little bit later on. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. A Floyd County Sheriff's deputy has died following a battle with COVID-19. Deputy Oliver Little was in the process of transitioning from the Sheriff's Department to the Pikeville Police Department before he got sick several weeks ago. Funeral arrangements are not known at this time. The positivity rate continues to decline here in the Commonwealth. Governor Andy Beshear announced 2,380 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, increasing the statewide total to 719,611. There were 26 new deaths reported as well, bringing the death toll to 9,210. The positivity rate is now at 8%. You can always find the latest COVID-19 information over on our website at WYMT.com. Well, the staff at St. Clair Regional Medical Center in Moorhead is breathing a sigh of relief as the hospital is finally seeing a noticeable slowdown in COVID-19 hospitalizations. Chad Hedrick sat down with the hospital CEO to talk about where their rates stand and the national attention they got during this latest surge.
It's been a challenging couple of months for the staff at St. Clair Regional Medical Center.
We hit and broke every record possible here at St. Clair.
The latest surge of COVID-19 from the Delta variant had St. Clair bursting at the seams, like many hospitals across Kentucky.
And to complicate the volume was the acuity of the patients. These patients were extremely sick upon presentation, and then they would decompensate even further.
The situation at St. Clair got so dire, they had to set up an overflow tent in their parking lot. It's now being used as a space for monoclonal antibody therapy. Inside the hospital, the number of COVID patients has gone down by more than half since the peak.
At one time, we had 49 patients was our maximum here in the medical center. Of which more than half of those were critically ill. Today we have 20 patients.
The best sign of change is the decreasing death rate. It's a morale boost that the staff has longed for.
At the level that they were seeing death each day, not each week, but each day, each shift for that matter, it was debilitating.
Troops from the Kentucky National Guard have also been at the hospital, helping in different roles. They're expected to leave within the next month as the hospital looks to transition to a calmer phase of the pandemic and ask the community to do their part.
And so I just appealed to people, please do what's necessary to protect yourself and to protect your family and your loved ones.
In Moorhead, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
Well, excuse me there, I'm lost in the prompter. Excuse me. Officials at a local police department in Eastern Kentucky are looking to set an example for the region. WYMT's Corey Sanning explains.
Knox County has been one of Eastern Kentucky's major COVID-19 hotspots, with more than 7,000 total cases, and local law enforcement are taking notice.
A lot of our departments been quarantined when the guys have been off sick with COVID. So everybody getting the shots and getting vaccinated, that helps us protect ourselves.
Officials with the Barberville City Police Department announcing Friday the department is now fully vaccinated against the virus, one of the first in the region to do so.
We've took many precautions as far as hand sanitizer, wearing masks. They all got vaccinated. We're trying to minimize our downtime here so we can spend more time out working our cases and doing things we need to be doing.
Making sure that every person that walks in and out of those doors stays safe and healthy.
And it seems that if you're vaccinated, the virus is not as bad on you if you are vaccinated. So it would be nice if more people would step up and get vaccinated.
Barberville Police Chief Winston Ty has personal experience with COVID-19, and he says it is relieving to be able to move forward and serve the community.
I've had COVID myself. We've had probably 3 or 4 here that's had it. It makes us short-handed, and knowing that everybody's got it and we can come to work and do our job and not really have to worry about it as much is a big relief.
Hoping to set an example by getting protected so they can continue to serve the community. In Barberville, Corey Sanning, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, as of Wednesday, Knox County has 7,103 total cases of COVID-19, with 127 of those still active. The SOAR Summit kicked off in Corbin yesterday. Breakout sessions are a big part of the summit. Executive Director Colby Hall says those are critical pieces of the event. The sessions are focused on problems, issues, and topics facing every community here in Eastern Kentucky.
Include conversations around securing more grant funding as a region, creating more nurses in Eastern Kentucky to fill employment gaps at local hospitals and healthcare facilities, extending and expanding remote work gains in Eastern Kentucky.
Now, the grant and project writing breakout session ended at 3 o'clock yesterday. Well, at SOAR, there was a discussion at the summit on post-secondary education. 7 college leaders talked about the role higher education plays here in Eastern Kentucky, from workforce education to training. They say in order for a student to succeed in the workforce, it must start in our K-12 schools. Also adding mental health is vital for success.
From where they are to where they want to be, that experience is something that we have to drive investment into to make sure we get them across the finish line. And so that takes all of us committed together.
College leaders say in order for a student to succeed, they are seeing success from students that learn other skills than what is in their degree field. Other topics at SOAR included the workforce shortage. One major issue not only Kentucky, but the entire world is facing right now is a nursing shortage. The panel at the summit yesterday discussed plans they have to fix the shortage. Their biggest focus right now is on educating middle and high schoolers so they will want to join the healthcare industry later on.
We're putting together a nursing corps like the Peace Corps or AmeriCorps and doing something like that specific to Kentucky, which I think a lot of high school students might be very interested in doing.
The panel says this is bigger than individual counties, and the best way to attack the problem is work together to find solutions. We will continue our coverage of SOAR today. Well, here's a look at some of today's top national stories that we're watching. President Joe Biden is promising to fix the supply chain backlog that has stranded scores of cargo ships loaded with goods destined for American consumers. After meeting with industry leaders yesterday, the president said the Port of Los Angeles, which handles about 10 million shipping containers a year, agreed to begin operating around the clock. An FDA panel of experts will consider Moderna's request for emergency authorization of its booster shot today. And tomorrow they will look at Johnson & Johnson's application. On Wednesday, FDA staff released data showing J&J's booster shot does bolster antibodies.
After the last several days have been very comfortable, very nice, I've been calling it second summer, we're going to be seeing some much cooler air come into play a little bit later this week. Right now, though, here at 6:05, we are continuing to see just a little bit of fog across parts of our region, starting to spread out just a little bit. Anything less than 5 miles on this map, which includes Moorhead, London, Williamsburg, Harlan, Jonesville, and Jacksboro, which is at zero visibility right now, is pretty rough. So just be careful out there and take it easy. I-75 at Corbin. The time lapse here, not a whole lot of fog there. It must be just to the north and south there this morning, but we're going to continue to watch that camera. Temperatures 59 in Wise, 67 in Jackson, 61 in Jonesville, 63 in London, Williamsburg, Jacksboro, Middlesboro, Harlan, Logan, and then 64 Irvin, Moorhead, Prestonsburg, and Pikeville. And that's several degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday, so that's something we've been watching the last little bit. 7 degrees warmer in Moorhead this morning, 5 degrees warmer in Pikeville and Hazard as you head out the door. 70 is the average high, 81 is the forecast high. We may not make that if those clouds hang on a little bit longer, but if we continue to stay pretty close there, we could get to the record at Jackson, which was set back in 2017 of 82. And then if we get a little warmer than that, the record at London for today is 83. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out as we head deeper into that forecast. Dakota?